Yeah, picking up yesterday's conversation. No, fucking,
It's
the Switch
time
is a
to talk about the
mess.
Switch.
The longer that time passes for the Switch, the less I want one. If Animal Crossing was not happening, I would not consider it.
Oh, same. If Animal Crossing was not happening, I would not even bother at this point.
Like, I would consider a Series X or a PS5 long before I considered the Switch. The portability means nothing to me. Even if I did leave the house, I would rather spend, $300 on a semi-decent laptop that can play all the same games and do other stuff.
Yeah, right.
Like, I could buy a cheap refurbed laptop or something, or a new graphics card for that much.
It's so funny, like, that you say that. I was on the bus coming home from work the other day, and there was a guy sitting next to me who had a Switch and was playing Pokemon Sword or Shield on the Switch, and I was just looking over at it like, oh wow, that actually looks pretty bad, huh?
Visually, I don't think that, like, there are some really pretty games on that system. I'm not going to say that there aren't. Nothing has been truly impressive outside of the fact that it's like, oh, you got Zelda to run on that at all. Wow. But, like, I'm not going to fucking play The Witcher 3 on the Switch.
I can play it on PC and it looks better.
Well, anything looks better than on the Switch. Like, have you seen that Switch version?
Genuinely.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. Like, and it's not even just the visual elements, even though, for me, that would be enough to seal it. Like, it's the control issues, and it's the fact that everything that comes out on the Switch that has been for something else has been really poorly optimized.
Well, it's a fucking underpowered Tegra 3, or is it the Tegra 2? I don't remember now. It might be a fucking, like... Because I know that they released the Switch, and there was another generation of Tegra literally the same week.
Oh my god.
And it's like, oh... but yeah, like... I can't remember if it's a Tegra 3 or a Tegra 2, but either way, like, a better, more efficient version of the Tegra processor came out literally the same time as the Switch, and it's like, oh, come on. And like we mentioned yesterday, the fucking Joy-Con issue. Also, I have used Joy-Cons before. They are tiny baby toys in my hands. No one in Japan understands how to design things for anyone who has even moderately sized hands.
This is a fact. Like, and I will say, I have considerably smaller hands than V's does. The Joy-Cons are still uncomfortably small for me. Like, I don't want to hear the argument, oh, they're marketing it towards kids. No, they're not marketing it towards kids. They're marketing the Switch as a family system. And if they were marketing it exclusively towards kids, they wouldn't be putting out titles like The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a lot of fucking in The Witcher.
get hecked with that idea that it is designed for kids. It may be designed for kids, and that may be the issue, because they're not trying to market it exclusively towards kids. And quite frankly, the Switch isn't a system that you can grow, really. Like, there's not... Like, you have the Pro Controller, and you can... I'm sure there are accessibility solutions that people have found, but, like... It's not like you can get bigger Joy-Cons. It's not like, oh, my kids are too big for this now, and hey, now everybody is large size in this family, and it's... This is a really stupid argument, but I feel like you should be able to have something that is of an appropriate size that as your family and as you grow, you're not gonna outgrow that. Like, I'm holding an Xbox controller right now. This is like a comfortable, well-designed thing that I enjoy, and it's something that someone with larger or smaller hands can also be like, oh hey, I can find a comfortable way to use this because it's well designed. The Switch is totally divisive on that, and it's annoying and inaccessible.
I will say, there are very few, like, supported accessibility things for the Switch.
Yeah, I didn't know
And
of any, so I didn't want to, like,
no, like, there are
say
very
that there aren't
few,
any.
and they aren't great because a lot of Switch titles either require or strongly suggest you use motion controls,
God, I hate it.
which is another thing that I have issues with. Yo, we need to figure out motion control shit. You're not gonna like what I'm about to say. I think we might want to wait on like a couple weeks on Animal Crossing.
You're right, I don't like that. But
we need to
you're
figure out
right.
the motion control shit for that game and see what it is and if it's bad.
yeah. Especially with my
With your wrists
with
and
my
my elbow.
with my wrists and your elbow, if the motion control in Animal Crossing is significant enough,
It will actively be unplayable for us.
oh god.
Like actively unplayable.
I don't want to think about that right now. But when it comes out,
Yeah.
we will wait and see.
Yeah. I just kind of had that thought where I was like, oh yeah, this game might actually not be something that we can play because Nintendo really loves to make you use motion controls because they think that that's what people loved about the Wii.
It's very sad how wrong they are.
I mean, it was the reason everybody bought the Wii, but then everybody stopped playing games on the Wii.
Yeah.
I bought a Wii. I bought back when that generation happened. I was working at a video rental place, and we also sold some stuff. I literally bought a PS3 at launch because I had access to one, and I was like, oh, I could just set this behind the counter? Okay. I set it behind the counter, and I bought it my next paycheck. Like, I could do that because I was the one who controlled whether people saw it.
Ah.
And I bought a 360 and I bought a Wii. I had all three of those systems. The Wii was the only one we didn't bother buying games for, and it was the first one we sold.
Wow.
And I know a lot of people who bought Wiis purely as Netflix machines for their grandparents.
Dang, okay.
And that's what the Wii was. It was just a box to give to grandma because you didn't want to teach her how to use a fucking Roku or a fucking what was that one? It was the original one, and then they got rid of it. TiVo.
TiVo.
Yeah, didn't want to teach your grandma how to use Roku or TiVo or something.
God, I could barely figure out how to use fucking TiVo.
TiVo was a mess.
It was awful.
And so you got her a fucking Switch because it could play Netflix for her, and you could go find a used Switch for like $90. But the main issue was there were very few games that weren't shovelware for the Switch, and it was a really bad console.
It was a mess.
Or not the Switch, but the Wii U. Or the Wii. And
Yeah,
then
the
the
Wii-
Wii U was a fucking mess, too.
I never even touched a Wii U.
The only thing the Wii U is good for is Mario Maker, and it's still better than the Switch for Mario Maker.
Oof.
All the people I know who love Mario Maker, including all, like, the, gaming press people who love Mario Maker, like the Giant Bomb people, but also, like, people in my personal life who I know who did nothing but play Mario Maker, don't play Mario Maker 2.
Ooh.
Because it's not a good experience making a level on the Switch.
I can't imagine it would be. Like, I'm just thinking about the process and about having to deal with the Joy-Cons and...
Well, Joy-Cons, or that's if you're playing it on the TV. If you're holding it in tablet mode, you can use a stylus, but it's not great apparently. And because you can't use the thing that made it so good on the Wii U was you still had that touch screen and everything. The second screen that was attached to the console that was hooked to your computer or to your TV.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that with the Switch. You can't output to video on both.
Yay, I got a Chivo.
Nice. So you have to either do it on that little 7-inch screen with touch, which is the preferred way of making a level, or you have to do it on your big screen, but with it being kind of a fucking mess. And so most people I know stopped playing that game because it wasn't great. Which sucks because, you know, I miss seeing people cry trying to finish Mario Maker levels. I don't know.
It's satisfying.
The longer the Switch exists, the less I have a desire to ever own one myself.
Understandable. There have been more and more issues coming out with it, and it seems like every game that's released on it has some kind of functionality crap going on that makes it so that playing it on literally any other system would be better.
Yeah, I mean, it's messed up that I don't know. Like, all these games that are like, man, I really should want to play this on, like, the go. It's like, yeah, but I don't want to play Hollow Knight on a 7-inch screen. Hollow Knight is too beautiful to have on that tiny screen.
It doesn't do the game's justice when... I mean, it's not just because of the small size of the screen. I feel like the Switch is not doing games justice in any way because of its underpowered nature, the control issues, as well as, you know, the screen crap.
Like, I'm not all like, it must be 4K, 144 frames a second. But, like, also, when I look at two different games, and it's like, well, between all of the different options to play this game, the fucking one, the Switch is the worst looking one. It's like, well, why would I play it there, though? Also, why would I play it on controllers that I hate?
Yeah.
Like, I like the fucking Steam controller more than I like goddamn Joy-Cons.
At least the Steam controller makes a good accessibility mouse.
Yes, like, I have used this thing as, like, when my shaking is too bad, or I'm, like, my muscle weakness has gotten too bad, I use this thing as a mouse, because it makes a great mouse for accessibility. It's a piece of shit for, like, a shooter, but it's great for games like this. Anyway, have a nice night, everybody.
Sleep tight.